who took out the shooter.
That's right when he saw it. We saw the video of this, by the way, guys. That's him. That's the shooter right there that killed the guy. Shout out to this guy, Don DeMarco.
Around that perimeter. Again, this former agent saying this is just something they always do. They scan as much as possible, and heard those shots fired, heard multiple shots fired, and people hitting the ground, and I'm sure that sniper went into action.
Yeah, as many as 8 rounds from that AR-style rifle. Martha, thank you so much for your reporting on this. Let's bring in Don Mahalik from former Secret Service, who's a contributor now, has been speaking with us. Donald, I just want to get your sense of this information that we're getting now about the shooter on a rooftop taken out by a counter sniper. What's your take on this and how these events may have unfolded?
Well, it sounds like the Secret Service counter snipers did their job. As Martha was talking about, whenever there's an event anywhere, the counter snipers go and they do their form of an advance. That form of an advance is looking at the entire area in and around the event space and setting up almost a grid pattern so they can identify locations and locations of interest. Looking and scanning all of those potential threat areas are part of what the counter snipers do, and they work with ground teams generally made up of...
All right, we're back up on Rumble, guys.
Law enforcement called counter sniper response teams that they can call upon to respond to a potential situation and figure out what's going on. In this situation, it sounds like some of that was working, but what we're going to have now is the FBI is going to do the criminal investigation piece of this to look at the shooter, his motivations, what happened. But you're also going to have the Secret Service now doing a mission insurance investigation to look at the protective venue, what protective methodologies were in place, what worked, what gaps they may have had, and what they can close down in the future.
Yeah, so much ground to cover and still so many.
And do me a favor, guys, if you are going to switch on over to Rumble and watch it, keep your YouTube tab open and like the video, guys. Helps a lot with the algorithm, helps a lot with the engagement. We really appreciate that. I don't normally film on Saturdays, but I'm doing this for you guys because I think it's a very important and yeah, I mean, I'm one of the few guys that's actually served out a Secret Service detail that can talk about this that's on YouTube right now, or Rumble, or whatever it may be. So if you're going to watch on Rumble, guys, support on Rumble. Open up another tab, watch on Rumble as well. And like the video on YouTube. Keep your YouTube and your Rumble tab open. It really helps out with the algo. Appreciate that, guys. Let's keep breaking this thing down. I predict that we might get a name tonight. Let's see what happens.
Former President Trump is rightfully getting much of the attention, but there was a bystander that was killed, according to the Secret Service, and now we know from the hospital.
Let's go back into Twitter space, guys, and see what they're talking about over there.
Critically hurt after this male gunman, who has still not been identified, fired from 200 to 300 yards away from an elevated position on a rooftop adjacent to the...
Out to a rally. There's so much ground to cover out there. It's always a risk. I'm just thankful for law enforcement. The Secret Service guys are incredible. You guys don't realize these guys are... Look at how they surrounded him, and basically all the agents covered him on the ground. There was more shots. One of those agents could easily got him. They put their life on the line for that man. And rest in peace to the people in the stands who got shot. It's a sad day. So I don't think we should jump to conclusions just yet. You'd be surprised. The way my mind works, I'm like a Navy SEAL at heart. Whenever I go in a building, I'm looking at the exit. Whenever I'm at a rally, I'm looking all around. A lot of times being backstage, you can't help but think, hey, we're all...
Is audio coming in good for you guys? Give me ones if audio's coming in good for y'all ninjas. You guys can hear what's going on here.
You're going to do 2,000 rallies, 30,000 people in every rally. There's a reason guys like Tucker, guys like Cernovich have been talking about this.
All right, awesome. Thank you, guys.
And you better believe now security's going to be...
Just came in. Just came in now. Very limited information. But Biden and Trump have spoken by phone. We don't know
all right.
about.
They spoke on the phone.
Wow, yeah. Hopefully this thing will come together. What we really need is to come together. People need to come together, and hopefully this can have people more realize, like, we're in this together. And hey, I'll finish on this note. Good thing it was an Antifa member because those guys are done. They can't get anything.
Antifa?
Yes,
okay.
That's been debunked.
Let's see. Oh, it's been debunked. Okay.
Do we know who it was yet?
Yeah, it was a white male with a beard, long hair, but nothing else.
Okay. Thanks, Mario.
Go ahead, Lucky. Yeah.
So the Trump goes, step back. This guy was able to get that close. He knew about having the gun. And was able to get that man. It's a shock. Like I said, the shock. Shock to everyone.
Yeah, so I'm just just trying to get your thoughts, guys, from a political standpoint. Chief, unless you have some updates here, what does that mean for Biden? That's the next question.
Well, Biden now knows he lost. I mean, he might as well step down and let someone else, take the beating, because this race is over. This is over. Donald Trump is the 47th president of the United States, and I gotta tell you, I want people to listen to me. When Trump is in the Oval Office again, people who did this, people who did the witch hunt when he was president, it's all coming back on you guys. Remember that.
Let me go to Bano. Mr. Bano.
We got 8,900 you guys on YouTube, and then another 3K plus on Rumble. Shout out to all you guys. Almost 4. Climbing up to 4.
Mr. Bano, how are you?
Good, how you doing?
Good. Tell us about your background. You've sent us some details earlier. Give us your background and then your thoughts on what we see so far.
Marine Corps as an instructor. In 2014, I became a marksmanship instructor out in 29 Palms. It's one of the worst shooting ranges there is. 40-mile-per-hour winds going constantly. Trained over 10,000 Marines on M4, M15, AR-15 platforms, as well as the 9mm. Just wanted to speak on this weapon system real quick. It's not a non-ideal weapon for this situation. It's 150 feet or yards. M16 is rated out for maximum effective point target at 550 meters. An experienced shooter can do this in a standing on top of that building and hit its target no problem. So, and then you also have a 30-round magazine that you can have with the weapon, and re-engaging is very simple. So, trying to pull out a bull act or something like that, the larger caliber is not needed. This is a very good weapon to get in and out if you're trying to, but I don't think the shooter had that intent. And also, when you're going after a huge political target like that, your nerves are probably shaking and up. So, his shot being off is probably due to that. But this is a good weapon for that type of situation. It's just not saying that.
Give me 1 sec, guys.
Or something that's not. That's all I have to say.
And the question, I'd love you guys to ask some more questions to Bano, just to kind of understand better. So you're saying the weapon is not, you don't think it's ideal, but it's not the worst weapon for, well, obviously the attempted assassination of Trump, considering the distance. How heavy is the weapon to carry? How visible is it for the Secret Service? Because it took them a long time to
That all you can't bring this gun down very easily, get back together within 10 seconds, collapse it in half. But the gun weighs about 14 pounds. You can sneak it in, and you only need a couple seconds to engage. And that's if you're an experienced shooter. I don't think this guy was very experienced at all, because at 150 yards, he's shooting prone, and that's already, he's trying to probably lower his profile. That's the only thing I can think of. But you can definitely get the shot off and get out of there real quick with that weapon system.
Okay, and then from what we've seen so far, the position. So you've seen the images of the shelter. You've seen how far it is from the former president, and the line of sight. Have you seen all that footage?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, perfect. You've seen the footage of the Secret Service engaging with the shooter. Okay, I'd love your thoughts on all that footage.
The Secret Service engaging with the shooter. It seems like, I don't know if he was like trying to assess his target. He had a chance. That's something you should be able to tell very quickly. I would definitely be questioning my Secret Service on what actually happened.
You're talking based on the footage. You kind of looked through the scope and then looked away and then looked through the scope again. That's
correct.
Volume up, guys. It's just that the guy's talking low. I don't know why his volume is so fucking low. Because a lot of these guys aren't using mics, guys. That's the problem. Like, they're talking on their phone. So, like, that's the issue. Let me try to see if I can increase the volume for you and then just let it.
Answer questions.
Okay, and what about the fact that the police? So, it wasn't the Secret Service. 2 questions. How was the shelter, the warehouse, not surrounded by police? That's number 1. Number 2, how come wasn't there Secret Service on that rooftop, considering the line of sight?
I remember the police officers could have thought that guy was Secret Service too.
Well, from the images, I think we've
The
seen
guy was wearing, but the guy,
not uniformed.
he's wearing a white, not uniform. He's wearing a white T-shirt. Just looks like
trying to bring it up, guys. Hold on.
So a lot of times too, you go to a rally, the local officers aren't always going to be on the same page as everyone else, right? It would be stupidity.
Right
to
on
throw it out.
next.
No, I appreciate that. All right, go ahead, Mr. Mago. Mr. Mago, I think it was. Go ahead. You were just explaining, giving us your thoughts on no, Mago, sorry, Bano. Bano, go ahead. All right, Bano, your mic is working. There you go. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. No, all good. Yeah, well, I just wanted you to continue with your thoughts on the footage that you've seen.
Where I left
Yeah,
off was,
someone said Zergats mentioned the shooter dead on his floor. Yeah, guys, I know. I just don't want to show it because we're on YouTube right now. So you can't, it's super graphic.
So that was a very valid question. That building should have had Secret Service on there.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a gross oversight all around.
All right, but you know what? What I'll do is I'll drop it in the chat.
Okay, and the likelihood, obviously, we're just speculating here, but the likelihood
let me-
of having some sort of inside job.
I would hate to speculate, but I would say.
Is it a fair question to ask right now?
It's absolutely fair to ask, but to run with that story is another, thing.
Absolutely. I think running with any story right now.
It's the same thing as people always say, these politicians are stupid. There's politicians are stupid. Why are they sending money overseas? They're stupid. No, they're running a money laundering operation. You always think it's stupidity. It's not. It's all planned.
Here.
Just
Actually, you know what, guys?
one.
I'll post it on my
I can
Twitter.
speculate if someone got a phone
I'll
call.
post it on my Twitter right now.
Move that position. Move this position. Give the guy a.
you
I'm
guys.
telling you, this was an inside job, and people really need to stop taking that stuff seriously because they took a shot at the future president of the United States. They tried to attack every single one of us today, and people need to be taking this seriously.
Yeah, so RFK obviously did reference the assassination of his uncle and his father, and he quoted, "We can't allow our country to devolve into violence." That was RFK for
All
a
right.
few minutes.
I just posted on my Twitter, guys.
Yes, I think you
I will
asked
go
me a
ahead
question.
and give you ninjas the link real fast. You guys, for any of you guys that want to see the shooter,
If, like what you said is right, that there was an inside job, it was an attempted assassination, what would be
oh,
the most
here's the shooter. This is from the quartering just coming in. Let me show you guys this. Let me drop my link. I'll show you guys this real quick.
The nominee,
This is the
I
shooter,
don't think
apparently.
who becomes it is important. I think the important
Beforehand.
part is understanding that Trump's on his way to win another election.
Looks like a whack job,
They
man.
want to
Holy.
keep him out there by any means
This is coming from the quartering. This is my Twitter is lit, guys.
someone out because you think the other option is gonna basically follow what you believe or is gonna be able to pass it?
All right, I'm gonna leave this Twitter discussion. But yeah, guys, this is what they're saying is the shooter. Well, I posted on my thing here. And here's my ex, guys. I'll drop the link in here for you guys in the chat right now. Actually, you know what? What I'll do is, got you guys. I'm gonna do you guys one better. I'm gonna actually post a real link to it. Right. Boom. Copy link. I'll put that in the chat for you guys right now. You guys want to see? Because I know a lot of you guys want to see the shooter. All right, someone. Yeah. Okay, I know why. God damn. I'm logged in under freshman. Under that. Give me 1 second. Or actually, you know what? Let me. Yeah, someone pin it. Actually, I can pin it right here. Boom. All right, I pinned it. Shout out to you, broski. Thank you. I pinned this so you guys can go ahead and look. It's right there for you guys. If you guys want to look at who the shooter was, and then here the quartering, right? He posted. Oh, I guess him and Destiny are going back and forth. Okay. All right, but yeah, here we go. This is the guy. There's probably going to be a manifesto as well here. Let's see what the comments are. It's probably posted already. Yeah. A demolition shirt, huh? Okay, so it looks like some type of tactical gear. Looks like these are some of the creators that support this stuff. Interesting. Very, very interesting. No, okay. Twitter here. Give me one sec, guys. It's Twitter. Yeah, so they're saying, pretty sure everyone is starting to think that this is the guy. Let me go ahead and share screen with you ninjas real fast. Yeah, because he's wearing, this is drone footage from before. He's wearing the same shirt as the person that was killed. So yeah, they're thinking that this is him. And obviously, if you guys look at my status, it's him because the long hair, right? Oh yeah, Trump is still going to show up to UFC. This Candace always saying this. Now would be a good time to give RFK Jr. a Secret Service detail. I don't know if they're going to do that. Okay. Anyway, which is crazy. I gotta like screen stuff before I show it on screen here. Let's see here. Let's go back to the to this.
Notable that they are not saying much more about that conversation between the president and his rival, the former president. Just the fact that they spoke, though, is really remarkable when you consider, how rare it is. I mean, before the debate last month, it had been years since the two of them had talked, and even at the debate, they barely, I don't even think you could say, exchanged niceties. The president is now making his way back here to the White House. He's going to continue to be briefed by his team. He's going to have a briefing tomorrow morning with his national security team, continuing to try and keep a close eye on all of this. The question now, one of many, is what kind of impact this is going to have on the president's campaign. We are already seeing efforts by some to sort of politicize this moment. Of course, as Rick notes, we have no idea what motivated or drove this gunman to do this, but you are already seeing many point the finger, or some pointing the finger at President Biden and his rhetoric. That is something, not surprisingly, that his campaign forcefully rejects. But how will this change the tone and tenor of this campaign in the coming days? Of course, as President Biden has been, under tremendous fire and fighting for his political futures. We have seen so many Democrats coming out and calling for him to exit this race. But for now, in this moment, the president is responding to this, as a president first, but also as a candidate. Of course, we are seeing his campaign pull down their political communications. We are seeing them pull down their political ads to focus on this moment, to try and dial down the temperature in this country.
And just so you guys know, we know that this is a shoot. Look. So check this out. You can see here he is, right? Same shirt, and here he is, right? So this is him when they got up to the body. This is him from beforehand. So we're pretty certain now that that is the shooter, this fucking weirdo dude. So I predict that they won't be able to keep that. We're gonna have a name here soon, guys. We're gonna have a name here soon.
Convention in any way is not something he wants. If he's able, he's going to try to be there.
I mean, I've witnessed Trump at rallies kind of call out the Secret Service and saying, why are these barricades up there? I want to let people get closer to the stage. I was at a rally in Iowa during the 2022 midterms where he actually got his staff to remove some of the barriers so more of the crowd could come closer to the stage. He's not going to want to scale down scale back any of this thing. I was talking to one of the many people that are involved in.
So interesting tweet here from Dan Bongino, guys. This guy's a former Secret Service agent. Dan Bongino says, actively communicating with a number of former colleagues from the Secret Service about the assassination attempt. This is an obviously catastrophic failure. No excuses should be made or even attempted. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I've tweeted this earlier that it's a big fucking L. The failures are profound and questions must be answered about ground surveillance, air surveillance, post-standard support, and counter sniper advanced work and response. We have one job and we came within inches of deadly failure today. An uneventful failure is not a success. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. And here he is as well. Let's see if he tweeted anything else. Boom, yep.
Episode 27. It's time for a...
Okay. Explains that Donald Trump still does not have a full presidential protection package despite the apocalyptic... What did I tell y'all, ninjas? I fucking told you guys. I told you guys that he doesn't have a full protection, Secret Service protection detail. This guy, that's a former Secret Service, right? And he's even telling you guys that he didn't have full protection. And this is what I'm trying to say. When you are a running president and someone as divisive as Trump, you need to have a full Secret Service detail that is the equivalent to what the president has, okay? Let's go ahead and play this. Watch this clip.
Full presidential package for President Trump. If you go back and listen to episode 2079, President Trump does not have that. He doesn't have that now. I get it, there are some legalities involved. But President Trump is a former president running for re-election. You essentially have two incumbents running. Folks, he does not have a full presidential package right now. It is putting the man in danger. His threat level is apocalyptic.
And I'll tell you this, after this, they need to give him a full presidential detail to the same level as Biden, to the same goddamn level. Because the sitting president gets certain levels of security that he has the highest level. That's all, that's like prime Secret Service priority. But Trump needs the same.
Catastrophic. It is time right now for Kim Cheadle, the Secret Service director, to get her head out of her ass and do the right thing. I could tell you stories for days about her putting politics ahead of presidential protection. I am not being overly emotional because I've said it before. The Secret Service director is utterly unqualified right now to be doing what she's doing.
LOL.
It's time for her first to get this thing solved. It's an emergency situation right now and find out what happened. But she should step down immediately. Some of the things she has told people on that detail about security arrangements, clearly making political statements, she is completely unqualified. It is time for President Trump to have a full presidential package. I'll leave you with this, then I'm asking you all, please, again. It's in these times where, I'm not some freaking poet, so we don't need to do any of that stuff. I'm just saying, when these people get lost at sea, they have lighthouses and stuff for a reason. God's that one for you, and he's that one for us right now. Just ask. Just open up. Prayer matters. It's not a joke. It's not some scam. What do you think? This was all created out of some kind of alien mist or something? We need them right now. The nation. We're still the United States of America. We got a lot of crazy people. You don't want some foreign country right now taking
I'll reach out to after this, guys, and we're going to go do a deep dive on the Secret Service director.
advantage of this chaos. And on this. Listen, I say all the time, maybe put a little smile on your face in a really tragic time. Campaigns are snapshots and sound bites. That's all they are. Donald Trump's got a lot of guts, man, getting up there, exposing himself again to what he knew. What he knew was an assassination, and pounding his fist in the air.
That's true. Moments after being shot at. Moments. Most people would buckle and cry like, oh shit.
That snapshot's going on forever. That was a clip from the Dan Bongino show.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan Bongino, also colleague in the Rumble space of things. read some of these chats real fast from you ninjas. We got here, Durag Marin, Marin, check the Discord. We'll check Discord. Marin's got a picture of the shooter. Yep, Arius. Durag Marin again. Marin, I sent a video to Mo of a spectator literally seeing the guy crawl up and him telling cops about him, then the cops ignoring him. Oh, shit. Yeah, I heard his, you know what? Let's go ahead and pull that up real fast. I saw that, like, let me see here. Okay, let me put here, spectator sees Trump shooter, and we might get it. And then Top Shay says Trump does not have a full outfit security Secret Service unit, especially the exterior Secret Services perimeter failed to listen to bystanders about a man crawling on a roof with a rifle. They failed to listen. Yes, that is true. That is true. And I heard some of it before about this. Let me find this video that you're talking about on Telegram. Let me see here. Okay, Mo sent it to me. I'm going to play it right now. Shout out to you, Mo. Thank you so much for finding it for me. I'm going to pull it up for you ninjas right now. Give me 1 sec. I'll pull this up and we'll play this video. Boom, here's it.
And watch the and listen.
Okay. You download this thing. Play it for you guys. Right. With me. Looks like it's a 2-minute clip here. I'm gonna open it for you guys here in a second. I got it here.
And watch the and listen to the rally.
Over. Boom. I'm the one-man show right now, guys. Bear with me. Okay, we got it.
And watch the and listen to the rally. Right, we couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know, but we noticed the guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
Right.
We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on.
And keep up.
You know, we're like, hey, right here on the...
And guys, like again, they're confused because what did I tell you guys before, right? See how everything I said is like coming kind of to fruition? Secret Service guys, when they do details, heavily rely on other law enforcement agencies to help augment their security detail. I'm gonna say that again. When Secret Service goes and does these rallies, they heavily depend on other law enforcement agencies to augment the security detail. What does that mean? Well, you got a guy, right, that is a law enforcement guy, right? Like for me, for example, when I was put on a Secret Service detail, I'm not a protection fucking guy. I'm a criminal investigator. I specialize in going after drug traffickers and human smugglers and firearms. I'm not a protection detail guy, right? Security and protection is not the same as law enforcement, okay? So when they bring these state police guys in, they bring in a lot of these HSI agents, etc. A lot of these guys you guys are seeing in suits that are Secret Service detail, a lot of them are HSI agents. They're not Secret Service agents. They're just helping augment the detail. So they're not as specifically trained, and they don't have the same background when it comes to protection versus law enforcement, which are two different missions completely. So when this guy is telling the police, yo, we're seeing a guy, blah, 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 like, he might, because remember, guys, at every single rally, there's people saying stupid shit like this. Yo, there's somebody gonna do this. Like, there's hundreds of tips that come in. This guy's gonna attempt this at this rally. This guy's gonna do this. Yo, this guy's doing this at this rally, blah, blah, blah. So, you know, not making an excuse for these guys, but it's very difficult to ascertain what's serious and what isn't serious. So you see this guy, right, with his fucking, let's be honest here, like, this dude looks like a ginger Abe Lincoln, right? You might look at this nigga like, wait, what? What are you? Bro, shut up. You know, you're not gonna take him seriously. Hey, bro, there's someone on the building. You don't know if they're serious or whatever it may be. So, granted, obviously, the police in this situation, I heard this, guarantee you they probably weren't Secret Service agents. They're probably state police, local police, county sheriff's office, whatever it may be. They're the ones that probably heard this, right? And they're like, what? Like, and they're still assessing the information. And at that point, you got seconds, maybe a minute to react, right? So, again, obviously, this is unacceptable, but this is why it's so important for Secret Service. They need more Secret Service agents, because more Secret Service agents means that they're able to be properly trained for protection. When you're properly trained for protection, you're going to take threats like this extremely credibly versus a regular police officer, right? Which is who they were probably talking to. A local guy that's just there doing a fucking detail, you know, not told anything, right? Because a lot of times they're not told a lot of the details of the Secret Service detail. The law enforcement guys, they're just there. They're just told, stay in this location, and that's it. They don't tell them anything else, so they don't know really what the fuck's going on.
Roof, we can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up
you
there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see it?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, we just be careful because...
Fucking pussy. Be careful because we're live. Shut up.
We don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%. Okay. Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
And if you guys want to see what it looks like, click the link at the top. It's pinned. I got a picture on my X where you guys can go ahead and look at the photo.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
Typical Pennsylvania guy. That accent is funny. So that's always funny. You guys can see some of my Overwatch montage is coming very soon for you ninjas. Overwatch montage coming soon. Let's see here.
And Donald Trump in an attempted assassination at one of his events in Butler, Pennsylvania. He was there for a rally, a political rally. You see the events here. There were the popping sounds in the crowd, the former president reaching for his right ear before going down to the deck right there on the stage. The Secret Service surrounding the former president.
Oh, let's do a little deep dive on Secret Service Director. Cheadle. Here she is. Kimberly Cheadle is an American law enforcement officer who has served as director of the United States Secret Service. Since September 2022, she previously had multiple roles in the United States. So what did she do before? She joined the Secret Service in 95, 2017, 2018. She served as Deputy Assistant Director. She was the SAC of Grand Rapids, Michigan. She became the first woman to serve as Assistant Director of Protective Operations. The department tasked with protection of president dignitaries and managed a budget of $133.5 million. During her tenure, Cheadle was assigned to the Vice Presidential Protective Division. During the Obama administration, 2019 and 2022, Cheadle served as Senior Director of Global Security at PepsiCo, which is responsible for directing and implementing security protocols for the company's facilities in North America. Her role involves developing risk management assessment and risk mitigation. 2021, President Joe Biden awarded Cheadle a Presidential Rank Award for exceptional performance. 2022, Biden announced the appointment of Cheadle to be Director of the United States Secret Service. She assumed office on September 17, 2022. She took over following a turbulent couple months in which the agency, best known for protecting presidents, faced controversy related to January 621 attack in the U.S. Capitol. So she got, she's definitely going to be, there's going to be congressional inquiries. They're going to grill her on Capitol Hill. You best believe. There is going to be hell to pay after this, for sure.
On a rooftop some 200 to 300 yards away from that venue, once again with an AR-style rifle. We're going to bring in some of our other correspondents and contributors here in just a moment. Forgive me, I'm getting instructions. I can't do that. You've got to keep moving it forward. Okay. We've been speaking with eyewitnesses all day. Let's go ahead and listen.
Tell me what you saw and what you heard. You said that you heard the popping sounds and you got down.
Sounds. At first you think like maybe firecrackers, but it continued. It continued, and then somebody yelled, "Get down." We got down, and we huddled, and we started praying. And we just started praying, and thank God, a little while later, we got up. When we saw other people get up, we saw Trump get up, raise his fist like I'm okay, and we kept praying.
I felt really bad. I'm worried about our grandchildren. What kind of life are they going to have if this goes on, if people don't have the right to say what they want?
You told me that you
I'll tell you
were
this,
here.
Butler's about to get Googled more than ever
You weren't
before.
very far.
No, we were like from here to where that thing is.
And you got down. You said you got down immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody yelled, "Get down!" My daughter-in-law, Lisa, she said for us to hurry up and get down.
Well, I mean, I saw all the Secret Service kind of cover Trump. They did a really good job about that, making sure he was protected, telling everyone to get down. So I think they did take a good care of making sure everyone was understanding what was going on and being serious but not freaking everybody out.
What was your initial reaction when you heard those popping noises?
To get down. Yeah, so I actually my boyfriend pushed me on the ground and went on top of me, which was really nice. But I think a lot of people were a little too shocked to understand what was going on originally, for sure. But I think everyone listened pretty well, and it was handled pretty well.
Did you see some of that commotion that was playing out on the other side of the bleacher where we saw law enforcement agents sort of swarm around another individual, or did you ultimately just rush out?
No, we were there for a minute because they did tell us to go back down again just in case. I think that was good because it helped calm people down. But I think one of the stands that I was next to, they did carry out a man, and there was another one that might have been injured. I'm not 100% sure, but definitely one at least. And on the other stand on the other side, because I was on the right, on the left, there were a bunch of men in uniform surrounding someone. So that was interesting to see.
You said that you were very impressed by the speed in which Secret Service was able to get on that stage within seconds.
I'll pause this real quick. Chat goes, Trump is a fucking goat. This is from Only Two Genders. Hopefully he isn't controlled by the Zios. Yep. Chunker says, an inch away from civil war. I have young children. God help us all. Yeah, man, crazy. Someone said, fuck that pussy. Yep. Violet Price says, what do you think? Intentional or just negligence on Secret Service? I sure hope whoever is head of his security details fired tomorrow. Yeah, I would say a lot of negligence, guys. Chief Ruckus says, seeing, and this is from the Castle Club Ninja. Shout out to all you guys, man. Seeing Trump get back up, put his fist up and say, fight. All I heard was All Eyes on Me by Tupac. Play in my head. What a fucking G. Yeah, bro. He really is that nigga. Facts. Red Pill Life says, W Mara coverage, W Castle Club, WLA Telegram group. Shout out to all you guys, man. We got 400 you guys watching over on Castle Club, man. Shout out to all you guys, man. Especially on such a impromptu stream like this. We got a lot of y'all watching. We got 5,000 plus on Rumble. We got another 8,000 plus on almost 9,000 on YouTube. So yeah, man, we got 12, 13,000 you guys watching right now on a Saturday when we never stream. So shout out to all you guys. Appreciate that greatly. Love all you guys. Shout out to Castle Club, guys. Join Castle Club because these guys are hilarious with these memes. Just to kind of let me make sure you guys don't got nothing too crazy on here. Yeah, so here, I'll show you guys kind of what the Castle Club looks like. It's lit, man. You guys can see, you can put memes up and all this other stuff. It's fuck that pussy ass. Oh, God, okay, everybody. Let me move this back up. That says crazy shit on here. All right. But yeah, Castle Club, they be going wild, bro. CastleClub.tv, guys. Join in there, man. Byron, I just said a DM on X of a lip melting down because the shooter missed. Bro, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Okay, Zero, cool. I'll check that out. Those Stroser get the hot Secret Service agents on after hours. Okay. Trump is a fucking goat. That's from Only Two Genders, the Doge Troller, Chief Raka. Yep. Shout out to all you guys. You guys are hilarious, man. These memes. Kumo says, I know I'm making jokes, but the fact that we may never know what actually happened, everybody's scrambling in real time is fucked up, man. We're really in bad movie. They said a Chinese man, now it's a white male. This is what I'm talking about. Yeah, a lot of fake news is gonna come out, guys. Byron, you might need to take a break from FNF and go protect Trump. Yeah, for real, this shit get crazy. So yeah, let's see here. This is what would happen if I was on the job. You guys are hilarious, bro. So we'll put this. See if I can pull this. Show you guys this thing. So if I was on the job, this I guess what would happen. Your guys' memes are hilarious, bro. This is funny ass memes, man. Someone else on Castle Club put this meme up. Yo, you guys are fucking hilarious for this shit, bro. Look at this. Like, they put these memes up, man. Just funny shit, man. That's why y'all gotta join the Cast Club, man. Shit is funny. Just keep going here.
Of all of us hearing those popping sounds.
Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job. I definitely felt protected in the situation. The sniper was on it, watching on guard. Everyone on the scene did a great job. I mean, of course, it was nerve-wracking in the moment, but I never felt.
Someone said the after hours from last night is still processing. I'll double check that.
Felt like I was in danger, which was cool. They were on the president, which I'm very thankful of, and they did a great job protecting him and getting him out as quick as possible. He is doing good, which is good. Yeah.
I'm the Republican nominee for the Senate in Pennsylvania. I was in the front row, and President Trump had just announced me and said he was going to have me come up on the stage, and said, well, wait a minute. And then there were a number of shots. I think probably 7 or 8 shots. It wasn't clear whether they would come from one place or 2 places. At least I couldn't tell. And immediately there was a swarm of Secret Service officers that got on top of and knocked down President Trump and got on top of him. And then he stood back up, and you sort of saw this fist come out, sort of defiant that it looked like he was okay, but you couldn't tell for sure. It looked like there was some blood, but it wasn't obvious. And then the entire crowd went to the ground because we weren't sure whether the shots were done. And then unfortunately, over my shoulder, someone had clearly been hit. I was on the ground, and up in the bleachers, probably 3 or 4 bleachers up behind me. It looked like there was a man who was severely injured. There was a lot of blood. And his people around him were trying to administer first aid, and then some police officers came in and carried him out and presumably took him to get first aid. That's really all I could see. I don't know if there were other people injured, and I don't know if there was anybody apprehended, because as you might imagine, once that happened, the crowd was very chaotic, and it was very hard to know what was going on. And we're still there at the rally, just sitting trying to get out because the traffic is so backed up.
Good.
And Dave, your account seems to confirm some of this reporting that we're getting about a shooter and potential bystanders who were hurt. Just talk more about your initial reaction. I mean, seeing this, you're running for Senate in the state of Pennsylvania. You're about to walk up on the stage. You're getting introduced by the former president, and then you hear these shots ring out and the chaos in the crowd. What was going through your mind in that moment?
Well, it takes a minute to process. People started to panic all around. You could feel, people were very scared, and so, everybody just dropped to the ground, and it felt very obvious that the president was under assault, and very much at risk, and it wasn't clear.
Okay, let's jump back into Twitter space, guys. See what they're talking about right now. We hit a height, by the way, guys, of 62,000 in there. When it was me, Tate, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones was in there, Patrick Bet-David. It was lit. 62,000 in there.
By the coaches they hire. They are not unbiased arbiters of the truth. That's by Bill Ackman. Expect a long-form post by him that was reposted by Elon. Initial thoughts on Bill Ackman's post. And I want to go to Tira and Lucky to get their thoughts on this tweet and more their political standpoint on whether we're going to continue seeing more and more endorsements flowing in for Trump. What does that mean for Biden? Tira, I want you to go first.
Bill
then I'll go back to analyzing
you could summarize Ackman's reasoning one way.
Bill Ackman didn't give his reasoning, but he's been basically hinting that he's going to support Trump for weeks now. As you remember, he was the one who supported Dean Phillips, brought him on to the stage where he had the opportunity to speak with him. I remember that night. And he has, certainly since the debate, he's been absolutely pretty convincing that, Biden should step down, he shouldn't be out there, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think the Bill Ackman statement is going to move the needle particularly, because I think he had made it clear where he was going to go with it. However, I think this incident will have a significant, a lot of things will have a significant impact. Biden's debate performance is probably still the most significant impact that we've seen on this race. But this and Trump's courage. I mean, let's be clear here. It's not so.
I'm gonna mute her real quick. So here's Butler, Pennsylvania, guys. It's a city and county in the seat of Butler, Pennsylvania, located 35 miles north of Pittsburgh and part of the greater Pittsburgh region. Population only 13,000. So that's a small ass town, man. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Very small. Oh wow, it's all far, far west, out there in the boonies.
Shooter's van or anything like that. But like I said, I think that image is somewhat iconic. I think his courage and standing up and saying fight is going to resonate with a lot of people who may dislike him but sort of thought he was more of a lightweight personally. So I think this has changed things, but I actually feel like the debate changed things more. Maybe not, the polling might not show that, but I think in general the debate changed things more, because if Joe Biden was considered to be a forceful candidate and a candidate who was, able to stand up to Trump regardless, I think things would be a little different regardless of this shooting.
Lucky, your thoughts, and then we'll go to Michael. Michael, I've got a few questions from a security perspective. Lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is way more impactful than any debate.
Oh look, even Jake Paul waited.
This is probably going to go down as one of the most iconic.
Even Jake Paul waited, man.
Fist bump with the blood coming out of his ear, in defiance. Saying fight. My wife is not very political. I mean, she's a Trump supporter, but kind of a hidden Trump supporter. She's ordering flags and putting signs out, and she's all ready to go now, right? And I think a lot of people see that, right? The guy had an assassination attempt. He survived it. He got a bullet fly through his head, and he put his fist up, and that was his response. He's shown as this rich guy who
Candace Cook and Eminem.
Pampered lifestyle, but he had a bullet fly.
Eminem has gotten soft,
he stuck his fist up, and he stuck his fist up multiple times, even as he got into the car. He stuck his fist up. And I wanted to kind of address Joe because he kind of implied this political violence came from Trump. If we go back to 2015, 2016, there was a lot of families and moms and pops and grandmoms going to these Trump rallies, and they were getting punched in the face by Antifa. They were having eggs thrown on them. They were getting doused in liquids. This was a lot of there was a lot of violence shown through people just wearing MAGA hats, right? And when Trump ran, he was
different corridors that would have been previously afraid to state their support for Donald Trump, or maybe even personally tepid about it, now coming in and asking, "How can I help? I'm all in." These are exactly words of people who have contacted me alone in the last several hours, and I'm sure that's true of people across the country. The reality is, I don't want to make this political tonight. This is not the moment for that. I will say that President Biden, who ran on the platform of uniting the country, had an opportunity even tonight to really rise to the occasion in a way that he fell short. I don't say this criticizing him as a Democrat, but somebody who was rooting for a president to rise to the occasion immediately and not only offer the usual ritual incantation, the ritual condemnation of political violence, yeah, we got that, but a deeper, heartfelt sense to say that, this is a man who I'm running against, but it is wrong that this should happen to anybody, and this is not who we are as Americans. And if I, as a U.S. president, have failed to create this environment in this country, then I will own that because the buck stops with me as the commander-in-chief. I don't think we saw that kind of message come from President Biden tonight. And for all of the discussions about how he came short up after the debate, I do think that even tonight was a moment for a man who ran on the platform of uniting the country to have fallen short in the way that he did. But this is less about criticizing President Biden and more asking the question of how we as Americans are able to say we're moving on. We're turning a page on a chapter of our history where we see our political opponents as our enemies. Let tonight mark the end of that, and if so, something positive, as you could imagine, at least something small positive that came out of this tonight, let it be that.
So, Vig, you talk about rising to the occasion. I want to go back to what you were saying earlier there.
So you can continue, Ricardo, you can keep streaming it. I think they're asking questions.
And he got up, and he said, I need my shoes, and then he stopped, and he fist pumped a couple of times, and he said, fight, fight. And the response was, USA, USA, because that's the natural response. At all of his rallies, he talks about fighting. It's been a theme. And the theme is, they're coming for you, but I'm in the way, so you got to keep fighting. What do you think about that response and that having the wherewithal to do that?
Well, look, I think those images we saw, our kids and our grandkids are going to be viewing that image in their history books. That was American history tonight, and for the better. It was like the images of George Washington crossing the Delaware with the flag in the background. That's what we saw tonight, and it was one of those moments. Our founding fathers, they risked not only their fortunes, but their lives for this country. And I think this is one of those moments where we have a leader who has made a sacrifice. I'm personally grateful now more than ever for the sacrifices that President Trump has made. I'm grateful that God stepped in tonight to save him for this country.
All right, Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you very much. Good to have
They do oftentimes.
So
they
that
do
was
put something
Vivek
out there.
Ramaswamy
They give some kind of
being
warning
interviewed by
sign,
Fox News.
but
I want to
sometimes
go
they
back
don't.
to the
That's the key
journalistic
tonight.
shooting
The
here,
key to-
but just one quick question for Tira. Would you agree this image will go into the history books, Tira, and then we'll go to Mike?
Oh, sure. It almost looks like, I mean, I hate to say that, I'm sorry, but it looks like Iwo Jima a little, doesn't it? Not, the landing on the beach, doesn't it? I mean, it really is quite iconic, and I do think it will go into the history books. Let me say one thing about Vivek. That was just nonsense. Because what Joe Biden said is there's no place in America for this kind of violence. It's sick. It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite the country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. The bottom line is the Trump rally is a rally that he should have been able to conduct peacefully without any problem. The idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. So he actually did say those things. So I don't really care how Vivek is spinning it. Biden did say these things. You might not think he said them quickly enough. He made two statements. This was the second. But at the end of the day, I don't think we should let Vivek just say what he said because without pushback. Thanks.
I mean,
No, I
but
appreciate
Biden
it.
ran on a lie. He lied about it. This whole campaign was built around Charlottesville and saying Trump endorsed Nazis.
What
Never
I'm
happened.
saying
So, like,
to you is I
I mean, it's
just
ridiculous.
read what Biden said. Everything Vivek said he should have said.
It's
No,
irrelevant.
everything
because
Vivek
when we
said he
peacefully
didn't
went to
say
rallies
these
in
things.
2016,
Excuse me.
and we were attacked,
Vivek
and punched
said
in the
he
face,
didn't.
and we had stuff thrown on
Can I
us.
just finish, please?
Let me go to Michael. Michael, good to have you, sir. You did post 24 minutes ago. FBI has so just first. You're the senior analyst for strategy at the Center for Security Policy, and you've got a book called The Big Intel: How the CIA and FBI Went from Cold War Heroes to Deep State Villains. And you did post less than half an hour ago. FBI has so tarnished itself that it must not be in charge of investigating today's assassination attempt. The lead investigating entity should be a special prosecutor or independent commission. Michael, I'd love to get you to elaborate on this tweet and give us your thoughts on what we've discussed so far.
Sure, Mario. Thanks for having me on. The FBI, by default, would be the lead investigative agency for this type of incident. But the problem is, of course, it spent years from the top down on a false crossfire hurricane counterintelligence operation to prevent Trump from being elected in the first place. And in its training and in its field office memos and so many other areas, it shows a distinct political bias against American citizens who support the president. So since it's lost the public confidence in more than half of the population, it's the wrong agency to be leading this because it's going to get us down a track into allegations of covering up, allegations of complicity, all sorts of things that we don't know where this is going to go. So then we get to the point, well, who is there who can be trusted by most of the population? And we really don't have an entity anymore that has that kind of public trust. So I threw out the idea. I don't know the mechanisms that are necessary, but the idea of some type of a special prosecutor or investigative commission to lead the investigation and to supervise the FBI's vast resources and the use of its personnel.
So as you guys can see, we read on the FBI website, they are going to be the lead agency
we're at a point
on this
now where
investigation.
we don't have an independent federal investigative agency worthy of the public trust.
And just getting your thoughts, just taking a step back, what would that do to the credibility that the FBI has at the moment? So we've just been that the credibility eroded away. Now I've covered it extensively, the Twitter files, and obviously it goes back well beyond the Twitter files. And now we've got this incident today. What happens?
I might have to weigh in on this, chat. I might have to weigh in on this.
Other agencies, and what does that do to America's democracy that relies on these institutions?
Right, we need these institutions, and we need most of the capabilities that they have. But when they go for years abusing their power, even abusing the congressional committees that are supposed to oversee them and their members. The reality is that it's the other way around, where those agencies often oversee their overseers, which there's no constitutional basis for this.
All right, I'm gonna
So,
jump in here,
so
guys.
we've gotten ourselves in a jam as a country where there's no one left who has a broad-based trust of most of the public.
But you know, the Republicans don't believe
Go,
that,
Tira.
you don't believe that an independent, a special counsel can be appointed, according to Donald Trump and his lawyers, right? So how are you going to put someone independent in when basically Trump doesn't believe that should happen?
Right, and that's the whole problem, is that we don't have a mechanism. So I was just throwing out the idea we've got to have some kind of mechanism for this, and we don't. And this comes on the heels of some other really awful things.
And I'll mute myself, chat, when I
months
talk.
ago, when the former chairman of the House January 6th committee introduced legislation to remove Secret Service protections from Donald Trump. And then you have people inside the Trump campaign who told the Federalists that the Secret Service detail
Good thing is we're not too far
President
behind
Trump has
on the
been
delay.
asking the Secret,
I'm listening to it on my phone as well.
Trump's security detail has been asking the Secret Service for more assets and has been refused by either the Department of Homeland Security or the White House. And then you have the whole matter of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being denied Secret Service protection by the White House.
Just for everyone, just sorry to interrupt you, Michael. Myron, good to have you back, but we are going to be streaming, by the way. Chief, thank you so much for sending it through, Chief Trumpster. We're going to be streaming a press conference by the Secret Service and State Police. That'll be the first press conference after the assassination attempt.
The show goes on, chat.
In 20 minutes, and we'll be covering it live. Sarah, if you can get the link, have the team ready, that'll be immensely appreciated. Let's go to Gary. Hey, Gary, getting your thoughts. I know you've had your hand up for a while. Let's get Myron if you've got any new updates, Myron.
Sure.
And getting your thoughts on the recent developments and information that's come in. But let's go to Gary first.
Yeah, my app is glitching a little bit. I do see that he's been listening for a couple of hours. If it, I'll step down and then probably listen for a while, maybe step back up if he does come up. Our common friend, George Gammon, is down in the area, and he often has a view of the macroeconomic impact of these things such as assassination attempts. So if it does go to that, what are world leaders going to do? What is the market going to do? That kind of commentary, that'll be interesting. But I'm going to step down for now, and I'll just listen in for a bit.
And then 1 second, Chad. I'll
Let me just go to
get in
Polymarket
here
as well
and
before
talk
going
with
to
these
Maga
guys,
and
then you guys will hear it on the background. So but I'm going to mute my mic so you guys don't hear double.
The bets on Trump being the winner of the election, he's the likelihood. Let me go back to the graph here. So it was at about 60% chance just before the assassination attempt, and it spiked by 10 percentage points to 70% chance that Trump will be the next president. So that's on Polymarket. And that number was as low, just going to give you perspective, but in May, that number was as low as 45% chance, and it kind of picked up May 13th up to 50% chance. Obviously got the debate, went all the way up to 65, went back down, and now picked up to 70% chance, the highest ever been. That's on Polymarket, which allows people to bet on different outcomes. Maga, go ahead, and then we'll go to Myron.
Oh, thanks, Mario. Yeah, it would be short. Just, I brought up oversight with the FBI and the FBI coming in. And, as I was a protective service officer, believe it or not, that was my additional duty in regards to counterterrorism and counterintelligence, which was my primary as a division lead. And the oversight of DOD, which I work for, is very different than the FBI, of course. But you have, of course, Congress and the Government Accountability Office that oversee, for instance, like Director Wray, who is in and is, of course, a very concerning figure in regards to where we lie, at least on the Republican side. But, what I will say is, there is accountability. It is, worrisome that you would have somebody like a Director Wray overseeing a Trump investigation. You can only, and unfortunately, trust in Congress in keeping things in check, right? With the Republican senators that normally you would watch just grill, Wray every day, Senator Mayorkas, et cetera, down the line in regards to the wrongdoings that are going on. However, so the accountability is there, but unfortunately, it's the integrity of that accountability is